For those of you who don't know, today is CDL Champs. It's the final tournament, the year-end tournament, and generally speaking, at this, we get a pretty big reveal for the next Call of Duty game. Essentially, it's a way of one Call of Duty game ending and then passing the baton onto the next one. And today was no exception, because in today's Champs, we got a bunch of information about Call of Duty Vanguard, specifically revolving around the multiplayer and a new mode called Champion Hill. Now, as far as this new mode goes, that's mainly what we're going to be diving into in this video. However, you should also know that there is a beta coming out for this next weekend, and you can start downloading it tomorrow on PlayStation. So if you have a PlayStation console, tomorrow you'll be able to preload it, and then this coming up weekend is when you'll actually be able to get your hands on it and play it. Now, as far as what this is, we got a trailer, so let's check it out.
Welcome to Champion Hill, friends. Knock out the other teams to win the day. Time to fight like I mean it. Take our opponents, get cash. How you like me now? Good luck running from this. Let's go.
Enemies dead ahead.
Our team's here. Back into the fray, soldier.
Preload the free Champion Hill PlayStation Alpha.
All right, so I'll be the first to say that this mode is a little bit confusing if you have no idea what's going on here, but that's why I'm here, and I'm going to attempt to explain to you what Champion Hill actually is. So essentially, the easiest way to look at this is it is very similar to gunfight. So 2v2, 3v3, you have a certain amount of rounds where if you die, you are out for that round. This is kind of like that. The main difference, though, is that you have multiple lives, and there is 4 different maps all on one big map, which makes it a little bit more like a Battle Royale than just a normal gunfight tournament. But that's also not the only thing that makes it a little bit more like a Battle Royale. First off, when you kill someone, you earn money, kind of like in CSGO or something along those lines. If you eliminate a team, so say for example, each team has 5 lives per person, so if you're playing 3v3, 15 total lives for your team. If you eliminate that team completely and they are out of lives, all of their loot that they've acquired through Champions Hill is dropped on the ground in what they called a loot pinata, and then you can go pick it up, take their weapons, take their kill streaks, and everything that they had, including their money. Now, every 3 rounds that you play, so kind of like a gunfight tournament, you have rounds. Every 3 rounds you play, you have a buy round. So in the buy round, you're able to buy weapons, buy attachments, streaks, and other various perks and things like that that'll actually improve your character and improve you within Champions Hill. Your goal is to be the last team standing, and by the end of this, essentially there is 8 total teams. So in other words, if you're playing 2v2s, that is 16 players. If you're playing 3v3s, that is 24 players total. So essentially that's what this new mode is. It's a mix between BR and gunfight tournaments. It's going to be very interesting, and that alpha is going to be happening next weekend, so you better believe that we're going to have some gameplay on the channel. Now, this is not the only thing that you can learn from this trailer. So just starting out with the basics, watching the trailer, you can see a lot of different things. For example, the many different characters throughout the trailer, which are essentially your operators within this game. Now, the other big thing that you see a lot of throughout this trailer is new and various different weapons. You see MP40s, STGs, a bunch of different weapons that we've seen in World War II games before, the BAR, the BAR, lots of different weapons that we have seen before. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of those. You can kind of slowly go through the trailer and check that out if you want. But to me, the most interesting part is 2 new gameplay mechanics that you can actually see in this trailer. So the first of which is what you can see here. You see the character shoot through the wall and open up a new way to see the enemies or to see the street down below. Now, essentially what this is destructible environments. Instead of just having a wall there, you can shoot at the side of the wall, puncture a hole in it, and then shoot at enemies that way. This is interesting. We haven't really seen this to this extent in a Call of Duty game before. Also, it's important to note that it doesn't appear that all walls and surfaces will be able to be changed like this. For example, if you have a big brick wall on the side of a house, you won't be able to to shoot through that, but when you see things like boards or things along those lines, that you can actually destroy. Again, not sure what extent this is going to go to. For example, if there's a wooden crate, can you destroy the wooden crate, or is that something that can't be destroyed? We'll have to wait and see. They haven't fully explained that yet, but it's very clear to see within that trailer that at least that wall you could shoot through and break. So the other thing that we can see here is, well, you can call it two different things. It's either mounting or blind firing. So this was actually leaked, the details about this very early on, and essentially what they said that this was is you mount to an area and you can shoot around the wall, but you can't necessarily see where you're shooting, and you have a very small target to shoot at. Essentially, the enemies can shoot your hands and that's all you show, but you also can't see. If I am being 100% honest, I don't know if I like this mechanic. I didn't like mounting to begin with. I hated the mounted kill challenges within Modern Warfare, and I really don't know how I feel about the whole blind firing or mounting being once again in the game. You can let me know what you think down in the comments, but it's very clear to see, at least within the trailer. So moving back more into the Champion Hill stuff, you see the different areas. First off, we had the airstrip, followed up by train yard, then market, and then the final area that we have is called Courtyard. So you can see the difference between all of them, yet they are all on that same map. So I'm not exactly how that works with the different rounds, if it just spawns you in one of the maps, if you can shoot into the other areas, or how that is actually going to work. But what we do know is that there is those 4 different places that you can fight within this overall Champion Hill map. Now, the one other thing that we have was at the very end of the trailer, you can see the death machine. Now, we haven't really seen any sort of whether they're going with score streaks or kill streaks or anything like that, but really this is the first evidence of those being in the game that we actually have, is this kind of death machine. Now, in Champion Hill, I'm assuming you just buy it with the money that you can get, but other than that, I don't really know. So there was someone that came on and talked about multiplayer, and the first thing that they said is the actual multiplayer reveal for the actual game is going to take place on September the 7th, and then the first weekend of the beta is going to be PlayStation Early Access only from September 10th to September 13th, and then week 2, this is your crossplay beta. You have September the 16th to 17th if you have pre-ordered the game, and then it is open on all platforms from the 18th to the 20th. Now, when the dev was on the stream, he did drop some big tidbits of information regarding specifically multiplayer maps. Here's what he had to say.
And speaking of environments, there's a lot of them. We have 20 maps day one, 16 of them are supporting 6v6. It's an awesome experience across all of the environments within World War II. So that's the Western Front, the Eastern Front, Pacific, as well as North Africa in there. So there's a huge variety. So the big, huge takeaway there is, of course, the 20 maps at launch, 16 of which are going to be 6v6 maps. So clearly they have heard over the past couple of years that we haven't been getting enough maps at launch. They listened to that, and they're bringing us 16 for 6v6. Now, what I'm curious about is, what are the other 4 for? Are they for Champions Hill, and that's the 4 areas that they're talking about in there? Or is it going to be something different, like a larger ground war game mode that is going to have 4 maps at launch? I don't know the answer to this, but it is interesting nonetheless. So that is essentially it. That is all of the information that we got today regarding multiplayer, Champions Hill, everything like that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. If you like what you see here, you like to stay up to date on everything Call of Duty, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. But as always, thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the